Welcome to Behind the Blue Lights, where we shine a spotlight on police misconduct, defend public rights, and call out abuse of authority. In today's episode, the auditor finds himself caught in the middle of total chaos. What began as a straightforward interview inside a CBD shop suddenly escalates into a full-scale police raid. The auditor, who's simply filming, becomes an unexpected target. Once the shop owner is taken into custody, the officers turn their attention towards him. What follows is one of the clearest examples of overreach you'll ever see, an unlawful search carried out by officers who clearly have no idea what the law actually says.
We've been stood here, that gives you the right to...
If we find drugs in this premises, yes, and you were in this premises when we find drugs, then yes, that would give me the suspicion that you may well be in possession of drugs.
Even though I've told you why I'm here for a completely legitimate reason.
Tell us a lot of things. You may say you're here
as you can see, I've got my GoPro on the tripod, ready to interview someone about CBD products, as you can see here. My phone's there charging, so I can obviously film on that if this dies. I'm not doing anything illegal by being here.
Just put that there. You're not doing anything illegal by just being here, no, I appreciate that.
And I've told you my legitimate reason for being here, so you've got no reason to suspect me or have any suspicion I'm doing anything else other than what I've just told you.
You haven't given me your name.
I don't have to give you my name.
So how am I able to confirm if you are here for legitimate purposes?
Well, at the moment he's indicated there's some drugs in this bag.
How would me giving my name then...
Fella, listen to me, okay?
I'm listening to you, yeah?
Okay, we are here to arrest this gentleman, yeah? He's been arrested for a drugs offence. Yeah, just come out of the way for us, please.
The officer's reasoning here is completely upside down. He openly admits the auditor isn't doing anything illegal, yet still tries to justify suspicion by saying that if drugs are found on the premises, that somehow gives him reason to suspect the auditor too. That's not how reasonable suspicion works. It has to be based on personal behavior, not guilt by association. The auditor was there for a legitimate purpose, filming an interview about CBD products. Even the officer acknowledged that, but instead of stopping there, he doubled down, saying, "How do I know you're here for a real reason?" That one line shows how little grasp he has of the law. It's not the auditor's job to prove his innocence, it's the officer's duty to establish lawful grounds. Once he admitted the auditor hadn't done anything wrong, any suspicion disappeared.
Being here is not enough suspicion.
Well, based on our intelligence that this gentleman here is supplying controlled drugs, not just being in possession of them, but he's a supplier of controlled drugs, and you are here with him, would then to me suggest there may be suspicion that you have been supplied drugs by him. Well, that is it.
If you search me, I don't consent to it, and I'll be taking legal action too.
So we're in the middle of an investigation at the moment, right?
Yeah.
Which we've got every right to do. Got a magistrate's warrant. We're on premise. All signed. Don't worry, you can have copies of that, as you well know. You can have all signed.
Wet signed.
Where is it? Like, can we see it before you proceed?
All signed.
Can we see?
All signed.
Yeah.
The power to search is here. It's all sorted, and we're quite happy to share that.
Yeah, can we see it now? Like,
Right. So
can we see that signature now? Like,
we've got that. Not yet.
Not yet.
But it's up at a different premises. So
Surely, before you're doing all this, you should have to show that, because what if it's not signed?
No, the warrant. There might be some confusion. The warrant isn't for this premises. The warrant
it's
is home
obviously all
address.
confidential to you, really.
So that's what the warrant is for. Obviously, this shop was open, which is why we've come in this morning and arrested the gentleman. So we don't need a warrant to be here now, because after being arrested, we have a power to search under Section 32.
This entire exchange shows just how confused the officers really were. The second officer tries to justify storming into the shop by waving the word warrant around. But when the auditor calmly asks to see it, he admits it's not even for the business, it's for the owner's home address. That alone makes it irrelevant to the situation. Then a plainclothes officer steps in, claiming they don't need a warrant because the shop was open and they are searching under Section 32. Technically, Section 32 of PACE allows police to search the location where someone has been arrested, but only for evidence linked to that specific offense and within tight limits. It doesn't extend to everyone nearby or anyone simply present like the auditor.
I'll go around to his premises too, while you're searching.
You won't be able to go in there because that's totally different.
Yeah.
At the moment, because you're like secure, right, we don't know whether you'll take anything into that warrant or whatever, so no, you won't be allowed access there.
Whoever is to you, friend, colleague, just a business acquaintance,
No,
whatever.
just my friend.
Okay.
As far
He's been arrested for a drugs-related offence in terms of supplying drugs. Okay, so surely from that you can understand why I might suspect you may have been here. You may, I'm not saying you are, but you may have been here in order to be supplied drugs.
Yeah, I can understand that.
If I satisfy myself that that's not the case, then you won't be searched. All I said to you was, if you need to be searched, I've told you the powers in which we would do them. But if you don't, then you won't be.
Like I'm saying, you don't have reasonable grounds. The only reasonable grounds you've got is suspicion.
So those reasonable grounds aren't yours to form, mate. They're mine. Okay.
Oh yeah, but then it's also you that'll be in the shit, so to speak.
Well, maybe, but that doesn't concern you then, does it? If I'm in the shit.
The logic here is staggering. The officer assumes that because the shop owner has been arrested for supplying drugs, anyone else inside must be involved too. That's not suspicion, that's pure assumption. Simply being in the same location doesn't automatically make you guilty. When the auditor challenges him, the officer smugly replies, "Those reasonable grounds aren't yours, they are mine." That sentence says everything. It shows an officer who confuses power with being right. But reasonable suspicion isn't about personal opinion, it's a legal safeguard to stop exactly this kind of abuse.
This helps you ground some more, just to give you some more information. There are some what look like medicinal cannabis, but there's also what in this bag and possession, what might not be. Just if that creates any more grounds for yourself.
Okay.
I'd be quite happy.
I'll have a stick in the bag and then.
So
I'd be quite happy that.
So on your opinion of something not being lawful, that would be enough
for the offence that's been investigated at the moment, okay, and for what someone's been arrested for, and for what's been located on this premise at the moment.
So what's giving you the reasonable grounds to think that it's illegal and what you found? Because
I don't need to go into what I found. I'll just say what's on the premise at the moment.
So you found some medical cannabis that's legal.
Well, I'm happy to detain you, okay, for lawful section.
Alright, what's your name?
23 Misuse of Drugs Act. My name at the moment is Acting Sergeant John Dillon, and I'm based at the Eastfield Police Station.
Alright, what's your collar number?
It's 1077 is my collar number.
Then the acting sergeant joins in, saying the shop owner had some medicinal cannabis, and what might not be. That one word, might, completely destroys any reasonable suspicion. The law doesn't run on maybe. If an officer isn't sure what something is, that's uncertainty, and uncertainty can't justify a search. But instead of applying the law properly, the acting sergeant takes that vague statement and decides to detain the auditor under Section 23. It's absurd. The auditor wasn't seen with drugs, wasn't acting suspiciously, and there wasn't any confirmed illegal evidence. Yet they pressed ahead anyway.
Okay, I like to define my ethnicity. I define myself as white and British. Can I get your ethnicity, please?
Whatever you can see. What do I look like?
No, it's what we like to ask people. You can refuse if you like.
I don't answer any questions, to be fair, but what do I look like to you?
Okay, you do have the right to have a copy of the stop search certificate if you wish to do so. That's later, but I can explain. I can also explain if you wish to complain and how you can go about doing that.
No,
obviously, everything that we're doing is it's being on record. It's on body worn, and I can see your recording there as well. I'm quite happy for you to hold that body worn camera. Nothing sharp, no.
Nothing. My headphones.
Thank you. If you just turn around for me, please.
That was search inside pocket now.
Oh yeah, thanks for pointing that out for me.
I don't want my face on social media, buddy.
You don't have that sort of right, I'm afraid.
Right, just point it that way.
I can point it wherever I want. I don't want my face all over your videos, but yeah, here I am.
But that's not going public, is it?
No, but I've got permission of the shop owner to be here filming, which trumps whatever you say, so...
Here's where the auditor calmly puts the officer back in his place. When told to point his camera away, he reminds the officer that he doesn't have to, he's filming with full permission from the shop owner. That single fact ends the argument. The shop is private property open to the public, and the auditor has consent to record. That consent outranks any personal demand from an officer. This isn't about preference, it's about rights. Once permission is granted, police can't decide who can or can't film on private premises.
Is that alright? I'm going to ask you to leave if that's alright. You can't stay. because we're going through a search now, so this is actually a crime scene at the moment, of which we're going to be looking through. I can't leave you in the crime scene, so I'll be asking you to leave.
I can't literally stand here now?
No.
Because that's what the owner wanted. He wanted me to stand here and just to make sure that, I won't interfere.
Obviously, you're going to have to leave the premises now.
I can't even stand by the door and...
You can be outside, but you can't
public
be in
place,
here.
that'll be a public place.
So I think in fairness, I take it as your friend, isn't he?
Yeah.
Telling you. I think in fairness to him, he's the one in the cell, isn't he now? Right, he's under arrest. You were here when he was under arrest. Normally I wouldn't tell you that, because he'd have no right to know it.
Well, it's pretty obvious, isn't it?
Because you were present at the time, then you know it, don't you? But from here on in, it's an investigation now, right? And we can't be frustrated in doing that. And I just don't mean having someone filming. I mean the fact that if we find something, then it's a matter for him to account for it, because you're not under arrest, so you're free to leave. So I'd ask you to leave now, please, as we get...
Is that a request, though, or is that an order?
What did I say?
The officers then claim the shop has become a crime scene, as if that automatically gives them the power to remove everyone inside. But that's not how it works. Unless the premises are formally sealed under PACE or a lawful order is issued under Section 19, they have no right to force out a lawful visitor. The auditor's question, is that a request or an order? Hits the mark perfectly. If it's a request, he can refuse. If it's an order, they need clear legal authority to back it up, and they didn't have any. Their vague claims about frustrating the investigation weren't based in law, they were just an excuse. The auditor had every right to stay, and the officers knew it. That's why they resorted to pressure instead of procedure.
Ask you to leave, please, because we're in the middle of investigation.
And I can say no to that, can I?
Not really.
Not really, or...
Yeah, because, no, you can't.
What happens if I do say no?
You'll be obstructing.
You're obstructing him.
So I do have to, it's
well, I'm
not just a request, is it?
That's how you want to... I'm asking you nice and politely.
If you're asking me, though, then it's like I've got a choice to say yes or no, innit?
Your mate's under arrest, right? I'm asking you to leave the premises,
And open
please.
it up.
Okay?
And like I'm saying, do I lawfully have to do that? Or is that just a request?
I'm asking you to leave the
Because
premises.
the way that you're wording
I'm asking you to
it...
leave the premises at this point.
Was it honest person?
No, we'll just...
The way that you're wording it, though, it's like I've got a choice in it.
I'm asking you to leave the premises at this point, please.
Alright, yeah,
Okay.
no worries, I'll grab my stuff.
Thank you.
What's your name?
You don't need to know my name, pal.
So, no, this phone, I know you've unlocked it.
Do you want me to show you my fingerprint as well? Just to double, just
Whose
to...
fingerprint would put us in?
Just
Who
to...
has access to that?
Me.
Or,
No
or
one
both
else.
of you?
No, this is my phone.
Is it?
Why would we both have access to a phone?
I don't know. I don't
Well,
know.
what sort of
I'm not being funny, I don't know you.
You don't know, you just asked a question and you don't even know why you asked.
As the auditor moves to grab his phone, one officer picks it up like it's evidence, without any warrant or lawful grounds to seize it. Then comes the most ridiculous moment of all. When the auditor says it's his phone, the officer actually asks, or both of you? Implying the shop owner somehow shares access to his personal mobile. The auditor's reply says it all, it's my phone. Why would we both have access? The officer's embarrassed response, I don't know, exposes the truth. He wasn't following procedure, he was just guessing. This wasn't policing by law. It was policing by impulse, trying to find anything that might stick.
You're being very argumentative, aren't you?
You just searched me for no reason, and then you're whinging about being filmed and stuff, do you know what I mean? Saying that I'm being argumentative.
The officer will explain the reasonable grounds for the search.
Is that good enough for you?
Yeah.
Okay, good stuff.
What other stuff have you got yours? Just this?
There's that, there's me bag down here. Right.
Sorry,
We'll have to search this one.
You can search it all you want, pal. Just get me stuff.
Yeah, that's yours.
I'm not
isn't
gonna...
it? No,
like,
that's
have I caused you any problems or anything so far?
No, you've
Yeah.
been
So,
okay.
No, I don't think it's
I'm not-
cause, yeah.
You've got questions.
We've been
I'm
nice
not
and
gonna
polite.
cause you any problems, so... Oh, sorry, what's your name and number?
PC Liversidge, 1062.
Alright, thank you, mate. You'll be famous.
Thank you.
This entire incident was a masterclass in confusion and unchecked authority. The auditor walked into a legitimate business to film an interview and somehow ended up surrounded by officers desperately trying to turn it into a criminal investigation. Every moment showed panic and poor judgment. Officers unsure of their powers, fumbling through the law, relying on feelings instead of facts. When the plainclothes officer said, "Those reasonable grounds aren't yours, they're mine," he unknowingly summed up everything wrong with this approach to policing. It's no longer about justice, it's about who can shout the loudest. From seizing his phone without cause to making up laws on the spot, their actions showed a complete lack of professionalism. But through it all, the auditor stayed calm, challenged every false claim, and proved that knowing your rights is the strongest defense of all. By the end, he didn't just walk away, he walked away with evidence. Evidence that power crumbles when questioned and that calm defiance exposes abuse far better than anger ever could. That's it for today's video. If you value what we do here on Behind the Blue Lights, make sure to give this video a like, drop your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe for more real accountability stories. Your support helps us keep shining a light on the truth. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.